I live in an Africa that is talented and capacitated. I live in an Africa that has no judgment or fear. I live in an Africa that is full of resources and capacity. I live in an Africa that even if they are tormented by historical injustices, like the ashes, they still rise. With that, allow me to welcome all of you to the SMME Opportunity Roadshow. Lina ke Thabang ke le thabo le thabisang ke ngwana wa Mashigo. Ba Mashigo ke ba hanamane ke ba hamiela ke ditau tsa mariri ke dikgoshi tsa mapulane. Ke nna eo. Andisithethe isiXhosa ndizanixolela. So I'll stick to English for the duration of this session. Are you all well? Did you have breakfast? You look a bit tense. Some of you are saying no. We know that in PE, your breakfast is egg, bacon, and sausages. Unfortunately, we want you to, winter is coming. So we are saying no to fat cakes and more to fruits. So when they called me, I was in the bathroom. And on my way coming, I shared with a colleague of mine that I am so annoyed. You know when you have a new phone and your airtime finishes abruptly, you will load 180 rand, in 2 hours time the 180 is finished. And you ask yourself, how did that happen? Because last time I checked, I switched off the mobile data. So how does that work? Then they'll tell you, you phone MTN, then they tell you, or your service provider, and then they will tell you that no, some of your applications were on. This is the same procedure in your life. At times, you will lose certain things because the applications that are meant to be off are on. What are these applications that I'm talking about? 1, structure. 2, association. 3, personal management. Let's start with structure. In life, your reputation cannot afford to go ahead of the structure that is in place. And I'll explain that to you. When you have a cell phone, and it might be an iPhone, it looks very nice, big and all, doesn't fit into your pocket. But you see, every time you can load airtime, and there are certain applications that are not downloaded on your phone, automatically it's going to chow your airtime, because it's going through a process of downloading what is meant to be on your phone. It's the same application in your life and in business. At times, you work so hard, you load so much, exert so much energy, invest so much money, but you don't even have a proper business model or a strategy in place. So every time you exert effort, every time you exert energy, but it is misdirected. Are we together? Bit deep for a start, huh? Very important for us to isolate ourselves in knowledge and talk about these things. The only currency to a successful business is not a business plan, it's a business model. Now your plan supplies you with the roadmap on how you intend to execute certain objectives in your business, or how you intend to execute, a particular amount of money that could be sponsored or given to you. But you see, the model of your business gives you 3 things. Your cost structure. Now, your cost structure speaks about the capabilities that need to be financed. That's the first. Second is your value proposition. What are you selling? If I were to ask you what is Coca-Cola's biggest competition, let's hear. What would you say? Yo, PE, Pepsi. I heard Mbamba somewhere. Huh? I heard Jameson somewhere. I'm heading towards you. If you say Jameson, better get some apple ties on the side as well. Castle Light, my brother, where are you? Itara. I tell her I'm taking you to Joburg with me. Okay? Jack Daniels. Some of you say, water. Even worse. Even worse. I don't want to be your friend. I had milkshake somewhere. Those who are sugar lovers. But you're still diabetic. Be careful. Coke's biggest competition is the national lottery system. The national lottery system, which enables the ticket. You know your lottery ticket. Now guess what? When somebody walks into a store, the first thing that they have in mind is, do I buy a Coca-Cola that I will ingest, digest, and excrete? Or do I buy a lottery ticket? With the lottery ticket, I know that I have a greater chance of winning whatever value that has been placed. They bargain at the same price. Can of Coke could be approximately 8 Rand and 90 cents or 10 Rand. Some of you, the way you've got so much money, you don't even know how much a can of Coke costs. And so can you see that your competition in business is not in your industry? The biggest competition of churches today are seminars and conferences of this nature. So the pastors are worried that your tithes, so-called tithes, you're buying tickets with your tithes. And they are concerned with that. Nike and Adidas' biggest competition is a word we call lethargy. The ability to be lazy. Because the more we have a greater population that is obese, their objective and vision to inculcate a company that sells health is going to be diminished. So Nike's biggest competitor is a population of people that do not stay healthy and exercise. What is your value proposition as a business? If you are selling a laptop, what is so special about your laptop that I need to buy it? And oftentimes as entrepreneurs, we don't define the character of an organization. And that's why I'm a character development specialist, because I help you define what you are. And in the definition of character, it comes in 3 folds. And towards the end, I'll tell you why I speak a lot about the number 3. Nothing spiritual. Right. 3 things important in helping you define what you are selling and helping you define your business to ensure that you increase your level of profitability. First, it's your product. What is this product that you are selling? And under product, I do add within that auspice services as well. So that's the first, product and service, and we'll break it down shortly. The second is packaging. How are you packaging this product and the service? And the third thing is benefits. Let me tell you a secret that you might not know. Nobody cares about what product or service you are selling. But everybody cares about the benefits of their product. People buy the benefits. They don't buy the product or the service. It's like dating. Dating means data collection. You are collecting information about the person. So some of you date very wrong. Or you marry very wrong. You look at what you think are benefits, which are values that change over time. The physical nature. It's a value, but it changes over time. But when we think about the benefits, gotta start with the mind. Some of you are sapiosexuals. Sapio people who are stimulated by knowledge. Some of you are emosexuals. People that are stimulated through emotions. So you can never interact with the person without emotions. Some of us, you have to have the brains, eh? No, I don't want a boring conversation, Natalie. We must talk. Let's reason. Stimulate my mind. Because that's how it is. Those are the benefits. It's exactly the same principle in business. Define your benefits. If I buy your water, or if I buy your product or your service, what is it going to do for me? Because we live in a world that trades on the basis of self-interest. People buy two things. There are two core functions to human beings. We purchase a product or service based on our pain or the escape of pain, or we want to experience pleasure. Those are the two things that influence people's behavior as consumers. Your product or service will help me either escape pain, or it's going to help me experience pleasure. That's why today, Macro celebrates, or rather SAB celebrates Macro, that in 2015 sold 1.2 billion liters of alcohol in 1 year. 1.2 billion liters of alcohol. Because we live in a society that is escaping and failing to deal with pain. 1.2 billion liters. But SAPS made money. They were happy. They were driving their way sober, thinking of the figures that they made in their minds. But that's the ability of generating a profit. Let's talk about experiencing pleasure. We have things such as network marketing that are coming up. Mobile money markets. Do you know Nigeria, being the second largest economy in Africa, is built on mobile money platforms? If you don't digitalize your business, you're going to be left behind. We live in a stage and in an era of technology. You don't have to succumb to it, but make sure that you have tenets and elements of it that can potentially empower your business. Nigeria's economy is only based on mobile money platforms. There is an application called the M-Pesa. Now, M-Pesa was trialed and tested in South Africa, and the M-Pesa basically is a transaction through SMS. So in Gambia and in Kenya, you have approximately 250,000 unbanked citizens. 250,000 unbanked citizens. And when the M-Pesa was introduced, it helped them. It works like the e-wallet. They were able to send money to their siblings or whoever via SMS. Now invoices are also performed through these platforms. So when we look at defining the product, you need to ask yourself one thing. How can I then communicate the benefits more effectively through the product? You can buy a great shoe. It can fit you. But if it doesn't match with your skin tone, it's not going to look good. Weird examples, right? Very weird examples. But they're practical. And these are things that affect us on a daily basis. And when we speak about people purchasing, or rather consumer purchasing on the basis of pleasure, as I said, the mobile money platforms. Travel is a huge industry as well. Fashion is a huge industry. One of my clients, I was the advisor to the chairman of the Zambian energy sector. And what we did, we had discovered a land that produced emeralds and other minerals. And I said, okay, here's the product. But for you to sell the benefits and to ensure that your demand is greater than the supply, let's focus on one thing. What is the value of emerald today as a commodity that is very rare to find? And we actually discovered a business model where he would only trade twice a year emerald. We're talking about close to maybe 3 tons or 2 tons, which is a lot, but twice a year. Every time when you are able to define your product and your service, you are able to measure or play around with the supply. Don't oversupply your product and services because it's going to lose value. The moment you oversupply your product or your service, it's going to lose value. And the basis of that is learn to lead a business from inspiration, not desperation. We have become an Africa that is too desperate because we thought our colonial history left us obligated to have riches through finances. But the true riches and the true wealth of your business lies in the self. Your self-wealth. Because being the best is great, you're number one. But being unique is greater because you're the only one. And I wish to see more unique entrepreneurs, value propositions that are not defined according to socialization, modernization, globalization, but according to your purpose as an individual. You see, you are not born, or rather, you don't seek life trying to find your purpose. You are born with it already. The processes that unfold and the experiences that unfold are there to then sharpen what's already in you, and are there to unleash what's already in you. You just need to learn to pay attention. Are we okay? Hey, some of you are looking at me like, yo, who's this chick from Joburg? Just before I close, I want to share my story of how I learned the principles of product, service, packaging. Who would purchase this bottle if given the opportunity, even if it was 60 Rand? Let's hear why, ma'am. Yo, Dakis, where are your hands?
Well, I can use it multiply. It's nicely packaged.
Great. So we're speaking about multiplicity, durability over a long term of time. Anybody else who would buy this bottle? Ah, one person in the room. Wow, PE is very economical, eh? So ShopRite must be making a lot of money. I'm worried about Woolworths that is in the city. Only one person would buy this bottle? No. Who else would? Yes, ma'am. Okay. It's strong and it's pleasing on the eye. Hey, that's powerful. Pleasing on the eye. Huh? Yes, sir. Would you buy it? Mara, you look like you like Hansa, you know? So if I had a Hansa bottle like this, I know for a fact, if Hansa was in this bottle, you would buy it. But why would you purchase something like this, sir?
You can use it as an ornament also.
You can use it as an ornament.
Sell it even as an ornament.
And sell it as an ornament. Hey, PE is creative. Use it as an ornament, sell it as an ornament. Now, here's the thing about packaging. If it's not unique, and if it's not different, then it's not going to sell. Let me tell you something, and if there's one thing that you take from this talk, please can it be this. If you are not susceptible to change, then you run the risk of losing innovation. You can't stick to the same principles that applied 15 years ago. You're in different times. This bottle is appealing because right now, a trend specialist and marketing specialist will tell you that because people, or we live in a society that is visually driven and associatedly driven, they would buy something like this. Coca-Cola appeals to people who have very much issues of not saying no. Very sweet people, very romantic people, very passionate people, and hence they use the color red. Because even the colors of your logo in your company have a symbol. If you want to have a corporation or a company that has a target market of executive directors, don't use yellow. Yellow is a light and cheerful color. If you want to look more sophisticated, use your grays. They are more toned colors. Colors have symbols. Green is a sign or a symbol of abundance and prosperity. White is a color of purity. Black is a color of authority. So when you want to establish a certain market, or you want to sell a certain message through your packaging, the colors are important. Can't give me yellow if you want to sign a 20 billion deal. Hey, you're going to spend it on children foundations. Let's go play. But you can add gray. maybe we can talk. And that's why city of Joburg has colors yellow and white. They are communal, because yellow is a warm color. It's for people. Automatically when they see, even the way you dress, ladies and gentlemen, be very mindful of the colors that you wear. Blue is a color of depth, intellect, and wisdom. Blue. Brown is a color of wealth. Yes. When you wear brown, my brother, can we talk after this? You're wearing a brown jacket. I see also the watch is brown. I'll just give you my business card, afterwards. Brown, the depth of color. Packaging, very important. The numbers that you use as well. 1 is a color, is a number of leadership. I'm nearly done, madam. 2 is a color of a seeker. Sorry, not a color. A number of a seeker and of a thinker. 3 symbolizes 3 things: structure, stability, and strategy. 4, color of organization. And it's also very important, even in your packaging, be careful of the people that you hire or you partner with. Find out this thing, they are life numbers. Now your life number is your date of birth. I was born on the 23rd. When you add 2 plus 3, it gives me 5. 5 is a number of somebody who is freedom, exposure. And that's why I'm very theatrical. I'm very wabonamos. Yeah, that's me. Pays my bills. I'm happy about that. But 5 is a color of exception. Our highs are highs, our lows are lows. So our key lesson in life is balance. Learning how to balance. When you are a 6 as a person, or even your employees in your company, part of your packaging, you're a person of harmony, tranquility. So 6s can't function in conflict. When you're a person of a 7, you're a perfectionist, very to the core, very structured. When you're a person of an 8, 8 is a number of wealth and power. So that's why when a brother comes to me and says, hey, Thabang, I like you. What's your life number? Are you an 8? Okay, if you're 8, we can talk. It's a number of wealth. It's a number of power. It's a number of support. People who are 8s are support structures. They are good as team leaders. They are good as managers in a company. When you are 9, you are a person who is intuitive, very spiritual. A 9 person doesn't do anything if they don't feel it on their solar plexus. Now your solar plexus is your gut feeling. Ladies and gentlemen, if you suffer from excessive fat right by your stomach, you don't listen to your intuition. This area, something called umkhaba, is got to do with stress. Yes. Stress. Umkhaba. The belly. Don't blame it on the castle light. Blame it with your ability to deal with issues. Stress. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? Packaging. Colors, numbers. Even you need to check how old is your company this year. How old is the number will inform some of the challenges and some of the achievements that you will experience in this year. Lastly, the benefits. What's the number 11? So 11, you add 1 plus 1, which is 2. So it's a seeker and a thinker as well. But 11 is also a digital number, very innovative. It's very important. Mastermind, teacher, that's the 11. Don't come and ask me for your numbers, okay? Book a session. I'll invoice you, then we can talk. Lastly, the benefits. Sure, this one hits home because I made a vow that I will not allow entrepreneurs to go through this phase without understanding the following factor. It had to hit me for me to speak about it. Benefits. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be fooled by people who will tell you that don't invest in your business or your capabilities. Your degree is not going to bring you money. The only thing that is going to generate a profitability that you want to see in your business is your gift and your talents, the things that you are born with. Minimum gifts that we are born with are 9, minimum. Some of you only know 3, but that's besides the point. The reason why you are fully capacitated and you are born enough is for you to maximize multiple streams of income. So when you have one company, it's important for you to diversify, but you can't diversify up until the first leg is strong. Because when you have a leg, at least you can stand. The balance might be hard, but you can stand. That's very important. Okay, so your gifts and your talents are going to bring you the money that you want to see. I am today a speaker to parliamentarians and ministers, just from my gift. Never studied for it. Right now I'm due in parliament because I'm writing speeches. I didn't study for it. I'm completing my master's in public policy. I have an honors in international relations, diplomacy and negotiations. I'm a diplomat by profession. I have a BA degree in political science and international relations where I specialized in food security, international political economy, and African human security. So, ask me if my degree is making me money. No, I've seen fuck all nicks. Fuck all nooks. But ask me if I've made over 100,000 from speaking, from writing, from being a think tank, from being a researcher, from being an Africanist. I can say absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Africa that we want to see can only be resuscitated through entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurship is founded on your gifts and on your talents. So what are you good at? What can keep you going, that even if you've got thorns on your feet, and even when your body is tired, what will keep you going? When I started in business, 3 years of my life I lived on savings. I did what I did to build not only the product, but the packaging. And when I was done building the packaging and I said, now I'm ready to design an invoice template and I can send out invoices, I then had to communicate the benefits. You got to have Thabang Mashigo in your space. Because if you don't, you won't produce results. And those are the benefits that I sell. Up until I was then able, have you ever felt, and I'm concluding, like for the last, I'm going to switch this off very soon. I'm taking it out of my tight. And I'm going to hold it to show that I'm nearly done. Yeah. Do you know how it feels like to be short of 50 cents to get into a taxi? Do you know how it feels like to calculate that you've only got 10 rand and you need bread? Where can you find another 20 cents? Do you know how it feels like not to have airtime and you've got an important meeting to attend? You can't even afford 5 rand of airtime. Do you know how it feels to be going, speaking well English, having your proposals, having your company documents? You're about to pitch for a client, sir, but because you're a woman and you're in a male industry, you have to pitch 5 times until you get the deal. Do you know how it feels like to walk into a space, very executive space? That time you leave the house with slippers or all-stars, my brother, you're walking like this because you don't want to be late for the taxi. The moment you're wearing your heels, it's going to take too long for you to run to the taxi. So up until you get to your Santon meeting, you have to find a bathroom for you to change your all-stars and your slippers and walk into heels. Walk like nothing has happened. That, ladies and gentlemen, is my story. Don't look at me and think that I just fell down from heaven and became a product. I am what I am because of the process. When you build your business, make sure that you build the structure. Today, I am able to have consultations with the presidency, Benin, South Africa, Zambia, because of the process. I'll never forget the process. Never. Not all exceptions to the rules make sensible game plans in the game. Doesn't mean that the world will tell you that these are not the rules that you must give up. Formulate your own rules. Formulate your own voice, because we need you as an African entrepreneur. Thank you.